Hello students, welcome to my YouTube channel. Maths is my friend. I hope all of you are good. So I hope you're studying well. So today we are going to learn about the nth term of an AP. So let us find out the formula for that. So now the nth term is nothing but it's a formula. So the nth term is a formula that enables us to find a term in a sequence. It refers to the position of a term in the sequence. So now let us try to understand what they are talking about. See here, we have A1, A2, A3, so on, be a AP. Okay. So let all these terms be in AP. Okay. Whose first term A1 is A and a common difference is D. Okay. Now I want to know what this term is. Okay. A3, I want to find out what is this value, or A2, I want to find out its value. So for that, we have the nth term of an AP formula. Okay. So now for that, I'm going to consider A1, A2, A3. Let all of these terms be in AP, and its first term will be A and the common difference will be D. Okay. And the next thing. Now here, we know that the second term is nothing but is given by what? It is given by A2, right? So now, so we have A2. A2 will be nothing but A plus D, right? Or I can also write it as A plus 1D, correct? Now the next thing, what we have to do is, it's equal to A plus 1, I can write it as 2 minus 1. So 2 minus 1 into D. Okay. I write it as 1. See here 1. I'm going to write it as 2 minus 1. Okay. I'm highlighting it. Okay. What the changes I'm making? I'm just highlighting it. Next, similarly, the third term. So now let us write out the third term. So third term is nothing but it is given is nothing but A3, right? So now A3, the third term A3 will be is nothing but A plus 2D, right? So it will be A plus 2D. Now 2 can be written as this 2. See here, this is a 2. 2 can be written as A plus. So I'm going to write it as 3 minus 1. Right? 3 minus 1 into D. Okay. Now fourth term. So fourth term is A4. So fourth term is A4, which is nothing but A plus 3D, which will be equal to A plus 4 minus 1 into D. Okay. So now here is 3. I'm going to write it as 4 minus 1. Similarly, here 2 also is written as 3 minus 1. Okay. Now this pattern, we are going to follow it for a few steps. So same pattern follows. So only I mentioned it as dot 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 dot. Okay. So that means we're going to follow the same pattern like this. Okay. In the next step, so what you're going to write is observing the above pattern. So above observing the above pattern, we have. So now what we are going to write is here we have an is equal to an. So that 4 is there now. So instead of 4, I am going to put it as n a plus 3. So 3 I'm going to write it as 4 minus 1, right? So here also I'm going to write n as n minus 1. Okay, so an is equal to a plus n minus 1. See, right? See here a4 is 4 minus 1, a3 is 3 minus 1. See here, this 3. Can see this, right? See here a4, a2. So that number is changing. So whenever you have this n, so n will become n minus 1. Okay, so now here n becomes, so n I'm going to change it as n minus 1. Okay, children. So the nth term, so what we write a conclusion. So the nth term of an AP with term A and common difference D is given by An is equal to A plus n minus 1 into D. So this is our formula. Okay, children, right? The next, also you must note that this An is called the general term of an AP. So An is also called as the general term. So any term I'm going to refer it as An. Okay. And you must note one thing that this An and it can also be denoted by other letter. I can also mention it as L also. So sometimes An will be called as the last term. So we can put a note also. Let us put one note here. So note An and L can be used to denote the last term of an AP. I'm going to put it in different color. Okay. So just for understanding purpose. Okay. So note An and L can be used to denote the last term of an AP. So in, excuse me, when we take up some problems, then you're going to understand how we are going to use this L and An. Okay. Right, children? Okay. Now we go for the one worked example in the textbook. So example 3, find the 10th term of an AP 2, 7, 12, dot, dot, dot. Okay. So now let us write out our findings. So what is there? So you know the first term, right? So here we have the first term, that is 2, right? And then we have to take out the common difference. So common difference is nothing but you have to do subtraction, 7 minus 2, right, children? Okay. Now what I've asked you, you need to find out 10th term. So 10, you need to find out 10th term is what? That means I need to find out A10 question mark. Okay, so now let us write out this. So now here we're going to write down that. So here A equals, so A equals 2, that is the first term, and then we have D, common difference, I told you, second term minus first term, that is 7 minus 2. 7 minus 2 will be equal to how much? 5. Okay. Next thing. Now what we have to find out? To find. So let us write that to find. What we need to find out, children? We need to find out A10. So we need to find out A10. Okay. I written as A10 to find. Next, you know what is the formula for AP? This one, general term of an AP. So we know that a general term AN is given by A plus N minus 1 into D. Right, children? So now I need to find out A10, correct? So now A10. So A10 means you should put N as 10. Okay. So take this formula here. I'm just changing N as 10. So what is A? A is nothing but 2. N is nothing but, what is N value? 10, right? 10 minus 1 into D. You already know the D value. D value is 5, right? Okay. So it's equal to 2 plus 10 minus 1 is 9. 9 into 5. So 9 into 5. So 9 5 is a 45. Correct? Say first you have to multiply this 9 and 5, okay, together, and then you have to add it up. Okay, so that is 9 5 is a 45. Right, children? So this is 45 plus 2 will be equal to 47. Okay, got it? So the value will be 47. So it's equal to 47. Put it here. So, okay, next thing we are going to take up is we have the example 4. Which term of a AP 21, 18, 15, so on is minus 81 Also, is any term 0? Give reason for your answer. Okay. So now let us try to understand this problem. What and all given? Let us try to understand. So now here we have the first term, right? The first term is a given, right, children? Then you can find out the common difference also. That is second term and first term. That is 18 minus 21. We can do that, correct? And then what else given? They told which term of an AP is minus 81, correct? So that means to say you have to take minus 81 as AN. So you should take minus 81 as AN. Okay. Now which term when they when they ask like that, so you have to find out the value of N. Okay, children. So from this, what you have to find out? We need to find out the value of N. So now let us write our findings. So here, okay, first thing we have to find we have is A is equal to 21. Then we have D, that is common difference, which is nothing but second term is 81 minus first term is 21. 18 minus 21 will be minus 3, comma. Then you have AN, because the nth term, AN, you take it as minus 81. Okay. Then what we have to find out? We need to find out N to find. So to find, I write it as N. Okay. Next, what we have to write is, we know that, okay, we know that AN is equal to A plus N minus 1 into D. Correct, children? So now we are going to replace it with this formula with the appropriate values. Okay, what and all we know, we're going to replace that. Okay, let us see what can be replaced. So let us write this formula once again and just write it this formula and then show you the substitution, which and all gets substituted. So AN obviously I can write it as minus 81. So I'm going to write it as minus 81. And then do you know the value of A? Yes, I know the value of A. Let me rewrite it. 21 plus. Do you know the value of N? No. N I need to find out. Do you know the value of D? Yes, we know it's equal to minus 3. When you write minus 3, make sure that you have to use bracket. See, always minus sign is a dangerous sign. So make sure to use bracket. Okay, children. Next thing. Now, after that, I'm going to write it as. So I'm going to transpose this 21 to the LHS. So we're going to transpose 21 to LHS. So it means we get like minus 81 minus 21 equals to n minus 1 into minus 3. Okay, children. The next step. Now minus 81 minus 21 will give you minus 102. So minus 102 equals to n minus 1 then into minus 3. Okay. Next thing, we have to transpose this minus 3 to LHS. Okay. So when you transpose, you must note one thing. See here, it actually it's multiplication. Okay. So let me write in next step, then you'll understand, because I don't know, I don't want to do any shortcuts here. Just want to show you what is happening here, the process. Okay. So now when you write this minus 102 equals n minus 1, here actually, here multiplication sign is hiding. Okay. So you should note one thing, that opposite of multiplication is division. Opposite of addition is subtraction. Okay. So similarly, opposite of subtraction is addition. Opposite of division is multiplication. Okay. So now we have multiplication. So now when we transpose multiplication sign to the left hand side, so multiplication will get converted into division. Okay, so that's why I write it as this one. So now this will become, the right hand side becomes minus 102 pi minus 3. Okay. So that's why minus 3 comes to the denominator. It will not come to the numerator. Okay. And also you must note one thing. Minus sign is remaining as it is. It's not changing to plus sign because it is associated with multiplication. Okay. It's equal to next step. So now I need to write out this n minus 1. Okay. Let us write that n minus 1. Okay. Now minus and minus gets cancelled. So here we are going to cancel this minus and this minus sign. Okay. And then what else will happen? So 102 gets divided by 3. Okay. Let us divide that. Okay. So 3 ones are 3, 34s are 3 threes are 9, 3 fours are 12. Okay. So that means to say I can write it as what? 34 equals n minus 1. Okay. In the next step, or what I can write it as, I can write it as here 34 plus 1 equals to n. Okay. Right. Because minus 1 transpose to the LHS. Or finally, we can write it as n equals to 34 plus 1 is how much? 35. Right, children? And then the question is not over yet because we have one more thing that is also is any term 0. They've asked you this. Okay. So now let us find out that. So for this, now we need to check if any term is 0. So for this, we take an. We take an is equal to 0. Okay. So if we have to find out whether any term in the AP is 0. For this, we are going to take n equals to 0. Okay. Now we know that an is equal to, again, we are going to take this formula. An is equal to a plus n minus 1 into t. Okay. And then I'm going to substitute n as 0 equals to then a value. What is a value? That is the first term. See what we got here? A is the first term, right, children? So let us write that first term 21 plus and then n minus 1, right? N minus 1 into d. You know the value of d. D value is how much? Minus 3. Where we got minus 3 is here, right? D is minus 3. Correct, children? So we have d as minus 3. Then after this, we are going to shift this 21 to LHS. Okay, let us shift this. That is shifting means transpose. So I'm going to write it as minus 21 equals to n minus 1 into minus 3. Okay. So here also what we do, the same thing. So let us write it 1 minute. So I'm going to use this. So just we need to indicate the steps. We'll write like this. The next step. So we're going to write it as minus 21 by minus 3. Correct now? Because minus 3 are going to transpose it to the LHS. So the same way what we did in the previous uh, step now. So minus 3 gets when it transpose, it comes to the denominator. Okay. Equals to n minus 1. Okay. And then what we get now here? Minus and minus gets cancelled. Correct, children? So let us cancel that. Minus and minus gets cancelled. Okay. Then after this, we are going to write, so 3 ones are 3 sevens are, correct? So that means 7 equals n minus 1. Correct? Because 3 and 21 gets cancelled. So let us see the cancellation. 3 ones are 3 sevens are. Okay. Or n equals how much? 7 plus 1. Correct? So I'm directly writing the step now. So or n equals how much? N equals to 8. Okay. See, actually, this one, minus 1 goes to the left hand side, correct? No? Minus 1, 7 plus 1 will be equal to n. So I'm going to write that as like this, n is equal to 7 plus 1 or n equals to 8. So that's our value, that's the answer. So that means what did you understand from this? So this means, so 8th term is 0, 8th term is 0. That's the meaning of this particular question. Okay, so right. So what we did, let us try to understand. So here we have got A is equal to 21, D is equal to 18 minus 21, that's minus 3. And AN I taken it as minus 81 because they told which term of an AP is minus 81. So I take AN as minus 81. Now we have to find out the value of n, because when you get the value of n, then we'll get to know which term was minus 81. Okay, then I'm going to write this formula. An is equal to a plus n minus 120. Substitute accordingly. So An is minus 81, A is 21, n minus 1 into t value is minus 3. And here minus 3 I closed in brackets. Okay, and then minus 102 divided by minus 3, because minus 3 it is associated with multiplication. That's why when you do the transposition, it comes to the denominator. So minus 102 by minus 3 equals n minus 1, or 34 equals n minus 1. Minus 1 transpose it to the LHS, we get 34 plus 1, or n equals to 35. And I wanted to find out which term is any term which can be 0. So for that, again, I consider the same formula, an equals a plus n minus 1 d. And this time I'm going to take n as 0. And then uh, I took that formula an equals a plus n minus 1 to d. I substituted the values, appropriate values. A and I took it as 0. I taken it as 21, and D it is already minus 3, and N I don't know, N minus 1 capacities. Then minus 21 by minus 3, it will be 7 times it goes, correct? Minus and minus gets cancelled. Okay. So 3 ones are 3 sevens are, or N equals 8. Okay. So eighth term is 0. Okay, children. Now I move on to the next problem. E- Example 5. Determine the AP whose third term is 5 and seventh term is 9. Okay. So now what is given? First of all, we need to analyze that. Okay. So here, third term is 5. Third term is 5 means what? A3 equals to 5. Seventh term is 9. Seventh term is what? 9 means A7 equals to 9. Okay. Now determine the AP. Determine the AP means what? That means we need to find out AP. AP we need to find out. That is AP is equal to question mark. We need to find out that. Okay, children. So let us write here. So what is A? What is given? A3 is 5, and then and A7 is 9. Then after that, to find AP. Now we know that what we know that A equals C plus n minus 1 D. Correct, children? Now what I do is I'm going to write this one. So what is A3? Now A3. Now A3. So for A3, what you write? A3 equals A plus 3 minus 1 into D. correct? And you know what is the value of A3? A3 is going to be 5, correct? 5 equals A plus 6. A plus 3 minus 1 is 2. 2D. Okay. I am going to call it as equation 1. Then, after that, also, what is A7? So let us write that. Also, A7. Same way, take this formula. So wherever n is there, put it as 7. Okay. And then what becomes? So A7 already you know it as 9. 9 equals A plus 60. Okay. This put it as dot dot dot. Called as. So now I'm going to call it as equation 2. Okay. 9 equals A plus 60 called as equation 2. Okay. And then let us subtract 1 from 2. Okay. Let us subtract 1 from 2. When you do the subtraction, what happens here on the LHS side? See here, let us write 9 minus 5. Okay, LHS will be 9 minus 5. And what about the RHS side? So RHS, it will be A plus 60. See here, LHS is 9 minus 5. And here it is A plus, here, A plus 60 minus, then use bracket, A plus 2D. Okay, or this is equal to, you have 9 minus 5 is 4 equals 4 equals A plus 6D minus A minus 2D. Okay. Or we get it as 4 equals A and A gets cancelled. It is 4D. Okay. Or D is equal to how much? It will be equal to 1. Okay. Then after this, now we are going to substitute the value of D in 1. Substituting the value of D in 1. We get. So I have the first, this one equation 1, 5 equals A plus 2D, that is equation 1, okay? Or, so let us write that 5 equals, okay, A plus 2 into D value is 1, okay? Write as 5 equals A plus 2, okay? Or A equals how much? 5 minus 2, or A equals 3, okay? Next thing. Now, you may know that general form of an AP is A plus D, A plus 2D. Remember this formula. So we know that the required APs of the form A plus D, A plus 2D. So now that is, we're going to substitute value of A and D accordingly. Now, so that is 3, comma 3 plus 1. 3 plus 2 into D. D is 1. Dot dot dot. Okay, that is, So that is 3, 4, 5. 3, 4, and 5. Dot, dot, dot. So this is your required AP. Okay, children. Now we move on to the next problem. Problem number 6. Okay. Check whether 301 is a term of the list of numbers 5, 11, 17, 23, so on. Okay. Now let us try to analyze this problem. Okay. What is given here? Okay. What is given? So you know this value, right, children? So this value is A. Then what else given? 11 minus 5. That is D. Correct now? 11 minus 5 will give you 6. And then whether 301 is a term means I need to take this 301 as AN. I need to take 301 as AN. So finally, you have to find out the value of N. Okay. So let us write our findings. So here, okay, A equals 5. Then we have D equals 11 minus 5, which is equal to 6. And then we have how much? Which one? AN. AN equals 301. Okay. After this, what we need to find out? We need to find out N. Correct? To find N. And then now we know that. Let us write in the next page. We know that AN is equal to A plus Z minus 1 to D. That's one. So now here comes a trick. So I'm going to substitute 301 AN as 301 equals to A value. What is A value? A value is 5. 5 plus, okay, N, don't know, N minus 1 into D. So D value is 6. Okay. Or I can write it as 301 minus 5 is equal to N minus 1 into 6. Okay. So this will give you how much? This will give you 296. Correct? 296 equals N minus 1 into 6. Then we get, I'm going to write it as N minus 1 equals to 296 by 6, or we get it as, so N minus 1 equals, so 296 by 6, how much it will be? So upon division, how much you get? So now this will become a fraction actually, in fact. Okay, why means, so here we'll do the cancellation. Let us see what will happen. So you have 3, 2 3s are, okay, 2 1s are, 2 4s are 8, okay, 2 8s are 148 by 3 you get. Okay. So it is not further divisible, in fact. Okay, it doesn't go exactly 143, 148 by 3. Okay, or what we get? N equals to 148 by 3 plus 1. Then no, plus 1 or n equals 148 plus the 148 plus 3 plus 1 means this will be, we need to do the cross multiplication and addition. So here we get, in the denominator we get it as 3, in numerator we get 40, 148 plus 1. Okay. Or I get it as how much? So I can directly write it here. So let us write it as 151 by 140 plus 3. It is 140 plus 3. This will be equal to 151 by 3. Okay. Now n should be here n is a fraction, but n should be some whole number or a natural number. Correct? So n should be actually a natural number. For that reason, we cannot take n as 151 by 3. So here we get n as fraction because we should get n as a natural number. Natural number means any number from 1 to infinity. Any number it should be. Okay. You cannot take, it cannot come as 0 or it cannot come as fraction. Okay. So what's the conclusion now? So that means, so 301 is, does not belong to the list of given numbers. Okay. Now I move on to the next problem. Example 7. How many two-digit numbers are divisible by 3? Okay. Now we know that two-digit number starts from 11. Correct, children? So two-digit number starts from 11 and ends at 99. So we know that two-digit number starts from 11 and ends at 99. So the required two-digit numbers divisible by 3 are, so it starts from 12, right? So 12, 15, 18, like this, so on to the last number would be 99 because 99 it goes by 3. How many times? 333 times is 99. Okay. So now here let us write our findings. What and all can be found out. So now I write this one is A, correct, children? So A it is, then what else you can find out? 15 minus 12, correct? 15 minus 12 will be 3. That is the D value. And then what is this 99? 99 is actually A in or the last term. Okay. So let us write that. So here A value, A equals 12. And then you have D equals how much? 15 minus 12, which is equal to 3. And then what is the value of AN? Let us write out the value of AN. So AN value will be equal to 99. Okay. To find what we need to find out? We need to find out value of AN. So for this, let us write down the formula. So we know that AN equals A plus N minus 1 to D. Okay. Then what is the value of AN? AN value is 99. 99 equals A value. What is A value, children? First term, it is 12 plus, and N, do you know my value of N? I don't know. So just minus 1 into D value. D value is 3. Then we can transpose this 99 or 12 to the left hand side. So it becomes 99 minus 12 equals N minus 1 into 3. Okay. Or 99 minus 12. What is 99 minus 12, children? It is 87. 87 equals N minus 1 So here it is. So now 87 is equal to how much? So you get 87 equals n minus 1 into, so 87 equals n minus 1 into 3. Okay. Or we get n minus 1 equals 87 divided by 3. 87 divided by 3. Or 87 divided by 3 is how much? 29. Equals 29. Or what you get? Or n equals, transpose is minus 1 to the RHS. So you get 29 plus 1. Okay, children? See here? I'm going to transpose this minus 1 to RHS. So you get 29 plus 1. Or we get it as n equals to 30. So what do you mean by this? From this, what is our conclusion then? So there are 32 digit numbers that are divisible by 3. There are 32 digit numbers that are divisible by 3. In which range? That is very important. So ranges from the, so that is a 30, so it actually comes in the 100, right? 1 to 100 range only. So that is from 11 to 99. In between from 11 to 99, how many numbers are there? 30 numbers are there. Okay, right? Next. Then we have our next problem. Example 8. Find the 11th term from the last term towards the first term of AP 10, 7, 4, so on to minus 62. Okay, very important problem. So there's some tricks also that you need to learn from here. Okay, so what is given first of all? So given AP is 10, 7, 4, so on to minus 62. Okay, okay. Now here, what is our findings? Let us write out. So here first term, what is first term, children? A. What is A value? A value is 10, correct? A value is 10, first term. And what is the value of D? D is a common difference, correct? So that is common difference. So how much you get? So it is 7 minus 10, right? So it will be nothing but 7 minus 10 is equal to minus 3. And then what else is there? We have the last term. So last term equals to minus 62. Yeah, minus 62. Okay. But we need to find out the 11th term from the last term. But we need to find the 11th term. 11th term from the last term. Okay. So we reverse the given AP. So we reverse the given AP. Okay, children. Then when we reverse the given AP, see what happens when we reverse the given AP. See, the last term becomes the first term. Last term becomes the first term. And sign of the common difference changes. Okay. So that means, so we have, A equals minus 62 and D will be equal to 3. Okay. I repeat once again. So here we need to find out the 11th term from the last term. Correct. So for that we need to reverse the given AP. When we reverse a given AP, the last term becomes the first term and first term becomes the last term. Remember that, okay? And the sign of the common difference is very important and it changes. For example, if it is minus 5, it will become plus 5. If it is plus 5, it becomes minus 5. If it is minus 7, it becomes plus 7. If it is plus 7, it becomes minus 7. Okay? So now, for that reason, so now what will happen when you reverse the AP? When you reverse the AP, what will happen to D? D becomes how much? So actually, first it was how much? It was minus 3. Now D becomes plus 3. Okay. And first term, last term was minus 62. Now here, first term has become minus 62. Okay. The next, what you have to write down. So we know that n equals a plus n minus 1 to D. And then, now we need to find out A11. Correct, children? Now, copy the same formula. I'm going to write the same formula here. I show you how it is getting substituted. So you are going to write down A11. So because we need to find out A11 is equal to A plus 11, A plus 11 minus 1 into D. Okay. And the next step, what you write down, or it's equal to. So you do you know the value of A value? Yes, we know, right? We know it has minus 62. So let us write out minus 62 plus 11 minus 1. What is 11 minus 1? It is 10 into D value is how much? D value is 3. It's equal to, or it's equal to minus 62 plus 30, which is equal to how much? It will be minus 32. Okay. So this value will be equal to how much? Minus 32. Okay. So 11th term will be minus 32 when you reverse the AP, given AP. Minus 32 will be the 11th term when we reverse the given AP. We have the next question. Example 9. A sum of rupees 1000 is invested at 8% simple interest per year. Calculate the interest at the end of each year. Do these interest form an AP? If so, find interest at the end of 30 years, making use of this fact. Now, what is given in this? So we know the principal, right? Principal is going to be 1000 and then rate of interest is 8%, right, children? So here's the principal. So this is principal. This is rate of interest, right? Per year mentioned. Per year means what? It means take year as 1. Okay. Now here, what is given? So here P equals 1000, R equals 8% per annum and time is 1 year. Okay. And what is the formula for simple interest? So it is SI equals PRT by 100. Okay. So now I'm going to find out the interest at the end of first year. So we have interest at the end of first year as what? First year equals to 1000 into 8 into 1 by 100. So 0, 0 gets cancelled. So here 0, 0 gets cancelled. So what you get now? So we get it as rupees 80. So you get it as, is nothing but what? Is equal to A1. So that is the first term. Okay. Then similarly, we are going to find out interest at the end of second year. This is nothing but 1000 into 8 into, so now year changes to 2. Okay. So what will happen to the value? So amount changes, right? So that this interest is going to change here. So how much it will be now? It will be rupees 160. And which is equal to how much? It will be 80. A2. So we write it as A2. Now interest at the end of third year is equal to how much? It's equal to, so 1000, 10,000 into 8 into 3 by 100 is equal to, will be equal to rupees 240. Why 240? The reason behind is, let's do the cancellation. Minus here, minus sign gets cancelled. 8 3 is 24, 24 10s are 240. Okay. So what is 240 equals to? It is third term. Equals to A3, correct? Now, here, A2 minus A1. Here, we would find out A2 minus A1 first. So what is A2 minus A1 is equal to, A2 minus A1 is 160 minus 180. Is equal to how much? It's equal to rupees 80. And then what is A3 minus A2? That is third term minus second term. Okay, which is equal to. So this will be equal to rupees 240 minus rupees 160 is equal to rupees 80. So again we got it as 80. So that means it clearly indicates that they are in AP, correct? No? So we observe that. We observe that A2 minus A1 equals to A3 minus A2. Hence the given sequence is in BP. Okay. And what is the common difference here? So also the common difference D equals to 80. Okay. Now to find interest at the end of 30 years, we need to find out A30. So we need to find out A30, not find out interest at the end of 30 years. Okay. So again, we are going to use the n term of an AP formula, that is n equals a plus n minus 1 to d. Okay. Now what is given here? Here we have A is equal to 80. We have D which is equal to 80. And then we have A30. A30 is how much? So do you know the value of A30? We don't know. Let's just give a question mark. Now A30 is equal to, let us take the same formula, just substitute here. A30 is equal to A plus 30 minus 1 into D, correct? Or it's equal to, what is the value of A? A plus 30 minus 1 is 29 into 29 into 80. Or I'll teach you shortcut here how we do. I can write as 80 common here. See here, 80 can be written as here. This can be further written as 80, 80 into 1 plus 29 into 80. Okay, anyway, you can write. So now what is common here? 80 is common, and first term we get 1 is common, and here 29 is common. So just mark that one, the common thing. I'm going to mark that common things. So here 80 is there, here also 80 is there. So that common thing I'm going to take it outside, and what is not common, that is 1 and 29, write it inside, which is equal to 80 into 30. 80 into 30 is equal to 2400.